to talk about Trump. Yes, is Trump good for crypto, or is this all just an act? As somebody who sat in the UK who doesn't have a horse in this election race, all I care about is crypto. Is Trump actually good for crypto? We're going to break that down, plus a really big week coming up for Bitcoin and altcoins with some important macroeconomic news coming out, which we're going to get to as well. If you appreciate these updates, even on a weekend, smash all the likes. Do not forget to subscribe. Yes, guys, please do hit up the subscribe button. It really does support this channel, and it just takes you a second. Right, let's take a listen to what Trump just had to say at one of his latest rallies.
Sure that the future of crypto and the future of Bitcoin will be made in the USA, not driven overseas. I will support the right to self-custody to the nation's 50 million crypto holders. I say this with your vote. I will keep Elizabeth Warren and her goons away from your Bitcoin. And I will never allow the creation of a central bank digital currency.
Very clear words here from Trump, who's looking to be elected for the second time. But I guess it's our job to really look behind the veils to see, is there some real truth behind this, or is this just a ploy to get re-elected? I think the first thing we need to take a look at is that it's very clear that he understands, that he even said it himself, that the 50 million people, the 50 million crypto holders in the nation could be the swing vote, could be the deciding vote, and it's definitely a voting population that's educated, that's vocal, and that can make a difference in this very tight election, whether people like it or not. So for us as an audience that is outside of the USA, and if you guys are watching the USA, of course you guys have a lot more to put into your decision making. We have to go, hang on, is he being truthful here? And we have to, of course, look at the first term. Was he super pro crypto in the first term? What has changed between now and then that's then made him so pro crypto suddenly that we can, really rely on what he has to say? I mean, of course, politicians will say whatever they need to get elected, put whatever they need to in their manifesto, only then to just renege later on. The more important thing for us to then decide is what's on the other side. And I think we know very clearly what is on the other side with of course, Joe Biden and his team, which includes the worst SEC chair of all time, Gary Gensler for crypto, who's just been on a complete choke of crypto, who's trying his best to choke it. Of course, you've got Elizabeth Warren as well, which Trump is alluding to there as well. And the reality is, you've not got much of a choice, have you? If you're a US person sat there pro crypto, like I said, maybe Trump is chatting a load of rubbish. Maybe he is just doing this for the vote, but what is your alternative? You've seen under Biden what has not happened for crypto. You've seen how they've tried to progress CBDCs. You've seen how they've served, SEC has served lawsuits to Coinbase, to Binance. You've seen the chokehold over regional banks as well in terms of not allowing on-ramps into crypto. It's been a tough patch for crypto under Joe Biden's watch. Will it be much better under Trump? Who knows? But that's something that the US population has to vote for. The reality is, do I actually care? No. Politicians can't stop crypto. They can slow it down. Of course they can. They can slow the momentum of the train down. They can choke it out. They can try and make it difficult. But the reality is they've already tried. They've tried to destroy Bitcoin. They tried to destroy crypto, and crypto keeps coming back. It doesn't matter what you do. You can ban it. You're going to end up unbanning it. It's up to you. If US want to ban crypto and not allow all these people to use crypto, guess what? Another country is going to open it up and allow you to. Russia will take the opportunity. China will take the opportunity. So if you want to sit there at the back of the innovation curve, which is not very US-like, then go ahead and do that, right? That's their prerogative. So, big week coming up. We've got PCE inflation coming up this week. That is Jerome Powell and the Fed's preferred measure of inflation. That's going to come out later on this week. We will be covering it on this channel, and it's going to be the key figure that the market looks to, right? Right now, we need dollar index to go to the downside. We need risk to stay on in order to see Bitcoin do well. That is fundamentally the main prerogative right now here on Bitcoin, because at the moment, if you look at where we're at, we're very carefully poised. Remember, earlier this year in March, we ran up and posted new all-time highs. Great. After that, we've really struggled, right? We've just kind of consolidated here sideways, but we haven't been able to touch a higher high. And now it's going to be important that we do that. We managed to wick up here. We came down to consolidate. Now we need that higher high. We need to see that happen here on Bitcoin. Otherwise, we risk curling over. We don't just want to do this. We do not want to be doing this here on Bitcoin. Very important that we go and get an all-time high very soon here. Now, if we look at the move from a weekly perspective, you can see that it's actually quite a nice move. A big breakout here, cleared through, has had a pullback over the last kind of couple of months, and now these last 2 weeks have seen a nice strong bounce from this red buying zone. This is very important support from many years ago. You can see here, this dates all the way back to 2021 where we held this level and got rejected from those levels as well. If we can turn that rejection level into support, which is pretty much what we've done over the last couple of weeks here, then that looks really good. But like I've said, this has to result in a higher high. This is not okay that we just go here and then curl over. No, that could be a double top pattern even, right? Because you can go boom, down, hit again, double top, back to the downside. So very important that on this leg up now, over the next kind of couple of weeks, even if we want one red week, we need to follow it up with green weeks that then enables us to get the higher high. Very important here on Bitcoin that we start to see that. Now, some further evidence that Trump is really pro-crypto is the following. He pledges to free the Silk Road creator, Ross Ulbricht, if re-elected. So this guy's already served 11 years in prison. He's the guy who created the dark web as we know it. And Trump is saying that if he's re-elected, right, look at this, if you vote for me, on day one, I will commute the sentence of Ross Ulbricht to a sentence of time served. He's already served 11 years. We're going to get him home. We're going to get him home, right? So he says that. He goes, I'm very positive, it's Trump. I'm very positive and open-minded to cryptocurrency companies and all things related to this new and burgeoning industry. Our country must be the leader in the field. There is no second place. And that's what I was just talking to a little while ago, right? It's up to America. America need to decide what they need to do because the reality is crypto doesn't care. Crypto will grow whether Russia wants to be the leader in it, whether China wants to be in the leader of it, whether Asia wants to be the leader in it, Europe. It doesn't really matter, right? Crypto's going to be there. You can't kill it. You can't put the genie back in the lamp. It's not happening. So these countries now just need to decide, hang on, we're not going to kill it. How do we coexist with it? And how do we get our fair share of it? This is why you're seeing the ETH approval. This is why you saw the Bitcoin approval. This is basically the US saying, you know what? We couldn't put the genie back in the lamp. Now we need to make sure that if we're going to play crypto, we're playing according to our terms, which is the same as TradFi, right? Putting things into ETFs and wrappers where we get our slice of the pie, putting things on centralized exchanges which are regulated so we have the slice in the pie, all wrapped up in the, we're protecting you, the consumers. They really couldn't care less about us consumers. If they cared, then we wouldn't be suffering the worst inflation crisis we've seen in a very long time. We wouldn't have horrible interest rates. People wouldn't be struggling to pay their mortgages. You wouldn't be funding all these wars in foreign countries. You get the point. They don't care about you. They use this as a guise. They use the SEC and Gary Gensler as a guise to control the things that they want to control. It's no different with crypto. No different with crypto. So yes, we celebrate the ETFs. I've spoken about this in plenty of videos before. Yes, we'll celebrate the ETFs because it brings inflows. It helps pump the price. But the reality is, be very careful. It's a double-edged sword. When these big boys like BlackRock and Fidelity come in, that comes with natural disadvantages. I worked in TradFi. I know what that means, right? So just be very careful. Take a look at this, what he then says here. He goes, President Joe Biden wants the cryptocurrency to die a slow and painful death. That will never happen with me. Very interesting. I just find it very, clear that Trump has kind of just come up with this. One of his advisors obviously said, look, there's 50 million people there, plus some more who are interested in crypto. Not only can you gather some more votes, but you can trend, right? Just like he's trending on Twitter with that clip, which I just shared with you as well. You're going to gain popularity around the world, which whilst they can't vote, people are still talking about you, like in this video, for example. Your message is getting across and you're going to create some more momentum in your campaign. So for me, I look at his previous term. Did he do crazy amounts for crypto and really push it forward? No. In fact, if you want to look at it from a kind of a data point of view, where did the ETFs get approved? The ETFs got approved under Biden's watch, which is crazy to think. Either way, US needs to go to the ballot box. They need to make a decision. I don't think it matters either way from a crypto perspective, but of course they need to decide what they want for their country. Good luck to the American peoples. Right, back over to crypto. We got that PCE inflation figure coming out later this week. We need another strong week here. Yes, I know we've had 8% there roughly and another 4%. Let's push on. Let's try to really go test that 73,000 and touch that all-time high. Because once we touch it, I don't care what happens thereafter. It can come back down. Because what happens is, if I bring out the weekly EMA ribbon, there's plenty of room. Once it just wicks past that all-time high, you can come all the way back down here. All the way down to 59 without a worry. The problem is if we show that weakness now, we could lose our nice uptrend. So really important that we keep this uptrend here on Bitcoin. The other pattern I wanted to share with you guys was this one, right? You guys have seen that this is another way of seeing the pattern which we're breaking from. And as you can see from this pattern, a nice breakout here on the 20th of May. You've come back down to retest it. And now you want to see it bounce, right? Now you want to see this response. You want it to continue on towards its price target. The other pattern which I shared with you guys, of course, was this falling wedge pattern. We are still in the breakout of this pattern. The price target of this move goes as high as 90,000. Yes, if this move can continue, the measured move of this breakout here, if you take it just from a conservative perspective, even up until there, apply that to the point of breakout, starts to give you price targets up in that $90,000 range here on Bitcoin. Who thought that these were the numbers we'd be shouting out from just TA patterns, right? Not just up saying, oh, look, Bitcoin's going to 100,000, but actual TA patterns with measured moves showing you price targets up in the 90,000 territory. Exciting time to be in crypto. This is definitely not a time I'd want to be out of the markets right now. I've said that time and time again. If you've not been shaken out, then congratulations, right? You're now in a space where you've cleared out the mess of Sam Bankman-Fried, you've cleared out the mess of people like Do Kwon. Inflation is starting to return to some levels of normality. We should be getting a rate cut at some point. Who cares whether it's September, October, or November? Who cares? We're going to get one, maybe two this year. It's a good thing. We've been through the worst of it, right? You're now looking at future presidents talking positive about crypto. Great, we'll take it where we can take it. Bitcoin ETF, ETH ETF, people talking about what next, Solana, XRP. Things are looking pretty darn good if you're a crypto investor, and this is the time to make the most of it. If you appreciate this type of content, smash up the likes. Don't forget to subscribe. If you actively want to trade, guys, I don't just talk, I trade the market. If you want to see my altcoin trades, I've shared every single one of my trades. When I hit profits, when I hit stop losses, nothing to hide. Links in the description, ijazcrypto.com/TG. I want to see as many of you as possible joining me over there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.